FlowForma have built out a governance solution inside of their application that allows you to manage the deployment of FlowForma throughout your organization. And that management is carried out by IT. So you have a technical person, if you like, at the center of everything that's installing FlowForma applications throughout your organization and managing the interaction between those different environments and the different users of those environments. So for example, you might deploy a sandbox for a person in the finance department to build out some finance processes, and then the person in finance applies for those processes to be put into production. And they do that via IT, and they do it in a very automated way using our governance application. So our governance application allows you to create multiple environments inside your organization, and it also allows you to move processes between those environments. Now, this actually is the administrator's interface that I'm showing you here. Let's just jump over to another browser where I'm going to show you the end user interface. So imagine you're a person in the finance department or maybe in procurement, and you want to have a sandbox that you can play in to build out some digital processes. You go onto a governance page inside SharePoint, by the way, and it presents you with some options. So here I have an environments hub that lets me request new environments and see the status of my current environments. Each environment is a FlowForma application sitting inside SharePoint. When you create a new environment, what you're saying is, okay, I want to create a new environment. This is the purpose I want it for. Let's say I want a sandbox. So what I can do is I can request a new environment. It pops up a form. It asks me what the environment is going to be. Let's call this a finance test area. And then I'm going to pick a environment type. In this case, I want it to be test area, so that'll be user acceptance testing. And down here, it asks me what security do I want to apply to this environment. Who do I want to have access to it? This is just a default setting, so I can set it up that I want Paul Stone to have access to this environment, but I also want to add in another user. So let's put in test user. So I want test user also to have access to this, so let's add them in. See here that you can add them in as an administrator and or a generic user as well, or a print viewer. In this case, I'm just going to add everybody in as every role, and I press submit. That finance test area request is then sent on to the governance administrator. So let's jump back over to my other browser where I'm logged in as the administrator. I have a request now for the finance test area. I'm going to say this is going to be accepted. I'm going to create a brand new site for this finance test area. The system will automatically create a new site for me and install FlowForma in that site. I'm going to jump over to the processes hub. This actually is the administrator's interface that I'm showing you here. I want to move one of my processes that I've been working on in a test area. Well, I can jump into the processes hub and request a process promotion. It asks me where do I want to move it to, and I'm going to move that to a new production environment. It now passes on to IT, and IT have to accept that. Here's my field change request. We're going to accept. What we're doing here is we're creating SharePoint sites, we're installing apps, we're transferring information between one site collection and another. So this is the site I'm moving it from. Now as we're taking that field change request and we're copying it across into our production site. And if I kick that process off, you'll see that it's exactly the same as the process on the other site. So it's very easy to move processes between one site and another, going via IT